Hello, good morning. Good morning. Woohoo! It's Tuesday Tip Day. Welcome to Tuesday Tips, a weekly live online training to discuss all things body, mind, and spirit. Hello, my name is Sarah Torino. I'm the creator of the Whole Woman Wellness Formula, and I've been in the wellness industry for 18 years now. Woohoo! So, a little story. This week, I started adding more weight back into my gym routine. I'm lucky because I can do this at home, but a lot of people are not that lucky. So we have been quarantining, and I wanted to address that straight on and give you some ideas of how to help you kind of transition back to the gym if and when you decide that that's a right fit for you. So, first of all, we're in the midst of quarantining in various ways around the world. In some places, they're rolling out, openings, and gyms are opening across the world. Some where I live are doing it with masks, a mask mandate in place. So every city, every state, every country has different mandates. And even with those mandates, only you can make the decision if going back to the gym is right for you. That is such a personal decision. But I wanted to address going back to the gym after this time because a new study came out that I thought was really interesting. And the study was based on fitness trackers and the information that people put in their fitness trackers was is data that's collected and looked at. And one of the things that came forward was that since COVID has begun and since we have been quarantining, people have been moving. People have been moving their bodies, but mostly in a heart healthy way, in a cardiovascular way, more in the walking, running, bicycling. There has not been as much strength work noted in people's fitness trackers. So if you are thinking that you might want to go back to the gym, there are some things to consider before heading back in and just getting back to where you were. And I wanted to go through those four things so that to keep you safe and to help you keep not injured. As someone who has dealt with going too fast, too hard, too much at the gym and injuring myself repeatedly, I'd like to share with you some practical tips that have helped me. So the first tip is don't jump back in expecting to pick up right where you left off. And I want you to know that sometimes our egos get in the way. And I'm talking about myself here, where I'm like, well, when I left, I was able to bench this much and I was able to squat this much. I should be able to get right back to that. No, we've been away from our strength routines for a long period of time. And so so don't expect to just jump right back in because though the enthusiasm is great, um, what the facts are is that often you can get injured when you do too much too soon. So often that's when the training errors occur, where you haven't noticed any mobility issues that have taken place since you haven't been in the gym. You haven't. You're adding too much load. You're just doing too much too soon, and the result of that is athletic injuries. So, first one, don't jump back and expect to be where you were. The second tip is figure out where you are and what you can do comfortably. And this is where trainers are amazing. This is where hiring a trainer to kind of get an assessment level of your mobility, getting assessment level of your cardiovascular health, getting an assessment level of your strength, the baseline strength. This is where trainers are amazing. But you can also do some things that are self-guided and, sense and feeling. And here are some ideas for that. The first is, um, it's called the Rockport test, and it's a walking test. It's a 1 mile walking test. And essentially, how it works is you, after warm up, walk at your highest level for 1 mile, 4 times around the track, depending on your track. And then you take your heart rate afterwards, and there's online calculators, and you can put in there what your heart rate was and how long it took you to walk that mile. And it'll factor in some other things and determine your score. And this gives you kind of a nice place to start, and you can do that yourself. Hmm. A thing I like to do with strength training is I like to kind of, when I come back to strength training, just kind of see where I am. And so what I'll do is kind of a basic strength, 3 exercise strength workout. It's kind of like a classic basic movement workout of just body weight workout. And I'll do about 3 sets of 10 of squats and push-ups and sit-ups, and then wait a day or two and see how my soreness level is. And so I'm sensing and feeling here. And if I am like, I'm ridiculously sore and I'm having a hard time walking, then I know that I need to stick with body weight stuff. But if I'm able to move comfortably, I can start to add repetitions or add some load, add some weight onto that. And I'll usually start about a third, depending on how long I've been away, maybe a third of the weight that I left off at, and see how that goes. Because you want to be able to live and move and walk around and, live your life, right? You don't want to be hobbling and not be able to brush your teeth because you're so sore. So step your way into and kind of get an idea where you are with strength. And then with flexibility, there are some tests that, you can do if you go online and type in, flexibility fitness test. There's some good ones like touch your toes and the back scratch. I mean, there's some really good ones that you can self-assess. Personally speaking, I like to just embrace the idea that with the quarantine, there's probably been more sitting, so tighter hip flexors, tight low back, and probably a lot more computer use or phone use, so tighter across the chest. And so I'll just kind of take my body through full range of motion and just check in with those tight spots, see how I'm feeling, um, and then address those. And know that, overhead squats with a barbell, it's going to be some challenge there unless I really take some time to work on my mobility. So, number 3 is, once you kind of figured out where you are, number 3 is make a plan based on where you are. Make a plan based on your results. And not just on your results, but make a plan based on how you feel. We are in the middle of an incredibly stressful time. And there's a lot of things that go into working out that people don't consider. But stress is one of them. And and the effect of stress on the whole system, and worry and fear and being sick if you were, and isolation, all of these things affect your system. And so I think giving yourself permission to ask the question, where am I today and how do I feel today, is really important, especially in this time, so that you can plan your workout accordingly based on how you feel, because you're worthy of taking care of yourself, and you want to meet yourself wherever you are. And number 4 is one of my favorite things that I learned through yoga teacher training, and that is the words progress responsibly. As someone who has not had a history of progressing responsibly, I think it is one of the best lessons that I've learned to play with. And that the whole idea is that you meet yourself wherever you are and go from there. And and this helps to avoid injury. This helps to overtax your whole system. This helps you from being so sore that you can't, that you want to cry into a ball in the corner. And honestly, it really helps most of all to keep you safe. It helps to keep you, preventing injuries, which is really key when you're heading back. So those are my 4 tips for you today. I hope they are helpful. I hope that you are feeling well, and I hope that we will get a chance to talk soon. Have a great day. See ya.